Full upper body workout today with Tyler. We're going to start with a little bit of chest, go into some back movements, shoulders, finish with a little arms. It's going to be super high intensity. And we're doing this really just to show you what he's been doing twice a day for 75 days in a row. We have a lot of support going on with the whole challenge and the progress he's made, but I know there's also some people that might have some doubt, or some unanswered questions, and so hopefully today is kind of an eye-opener what he's going through every single day. Monday through Sunday, no days off, no cheat meals, 2 workouts a day for 75 days in a row. So if you have any questions, send them to us and enjoy.
Straight into meetings, back to back. The agent that I was training in Houston dropped me off straight at the airport, ran to the gate, finally got to Charlotte, ran to that gate, got here, straight to the gym for workout number 2. I haven't eaten since 12:30. I had like a handful of cashews on this last flight, but need some food. Alright guys, so we just finished the 150th workout in 75 days. Went straight from the airport, straight to the gym. As you can see, I've literally got my luggage here. But it's 12:30 in the morning, Friday night, and we just got in just an insane workout. But wouldn't have had it any other way, couldn't have finished it any other way, couldn't have capped off this incredible challenge, this incredible journey any better than to do just like we've been doing for the last 75 days. I mean, think about it. We've been in like 12 states, 2 countries, one being the US, like 24 planes, well, more than that with connecting flights, hotels, rental cars, eating out, like the worst case scenario for trying to do a challenge like this. The worst case scenario for trying to lose weight. The worst case scenario for trying to gain muscle. The worst case scenario for trying to level up in your life, putting yourself in that type of a schedule. But we did it, we got it done, and the whole thing is documented at the highest level. And I've never felt prouder, but I feel like I'm just getting started. Can't wait to see what's next. Because once you climb that mountain, you realize there's a mountain on the other side, and it's bigger, it's taller, and it's gonna be a lot more difficult. So we're gonna figure out what that next mountain is and get to climbing. All right, so in episode 49 of the My Living Legacy blog was when we really first launched this idea of embarking on this 75 hard journey. And as I just watched it, I can feel myself getting anxious. And really what played out in that video was me basically convincing myself that I would be willing and able to do this when I didn't know if I'd be willing and able to do this. So it's kind of funny to watch. My face looks a little fatter, and man, I can remember sitting here thinking and talking about my insane travel schedule and about how adding this stuff in, it's going to be better because I'm going to have more structure and this and that. And little did I have any idea of what was to come. But it's awesome to look and see where it all got started. Episode 50 really was day 1 through like 3 or 4 of 75 Hard. And to look at day one and how just intense and insane it was. Like, we started with a workout at 4:30 a.m. and then had some meetings, then traveled to Columbus, Ohio. And by the time we got our bags and rental car, we didn't get to the hotel till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and still had to go get our outdoor workout in that night. So like, what better way to start this incredibly difficult challenge with an incredibly difficult day? We were just watching back through this, and this was also the episode where Pabs puked all over his own shoe. Pablo just puked on his shoe. Oh, that's unfortunate. Check one in. Somebody show this man some love. And I think he puked like 3 or 4 times that afternoon after we went on a pretty hard run, and then did some sprints around the hotel. But man, it's crazy to see like how we first just like jumped head first into this challenge, like traveling to another state, meetings all day, getting all this stuff done, and Pabs puking. So that's always a good thing. Recapping day 5 of 75 hard. I'm tired, but I think my hair is more tired. All right, so episode 51 documents day 5 through 8 of 75. And the crazy thing is you can start to see a difference like in my body already. But more importantly, you can see a difference in the things that I'm saying, the things that I'm talking about. And one of the biggest things from this episode was talking about the importance of having a personal trainer and having someone that's pushing you harder than you can push yourself. I mentioned in this episode that I was on a date Saturday night with my wife, and I knew I had to get a workout in Sunday morning. And so I knew I could not push myself as hard as I would go if my trainer was there. So I text my trainer, hey, can you meet up tomorrow morning? Let's do it. And just absolutely flat killed me in that workout. And so that's a huge part of this challenge, is the self-awareness and realizing like where your strengths and weaknesses are, and realizing where you need added accountability, where you need to add in different structures in place to make sure you're going as hard as you possibly can. It's called 75 hard for a reason. Like, you're supposed to go hard. You're not just supposed to, walk through these workouts and just breeze right through them. Like, you should be pushed to the absolute limit every single one of these 150 workouts in 75 days. And because I had a trainer, and big shout out to Adam Powell, because he was so just locked tight with me during this challenge to make sure that I got, that I hit my goal, that not only did I, succeed and complete this challenge, but that I had a huge transformation. It was so awesome having him fully bought in on that. It meant the absolute world to me and made the difference of the challenge. But having him every step of the way telling me what I needed to do and pushing me way harder than I could ever go myself was huge. So, day 5 through 8, you can already see a huge difference. Episode 52 really documented day 16 and 17 of 75. And man, these 2 days had so much clarity come through getting to the end of myself in some insane cardio workouts. And so these were probably the 2 toughest days that I had as far as pushing myself on the cardio aspect, working out hard in the gym, but usually like walking at night. But this is when I started using the 32-pound vest. I started running with the 32-pound vest and just pushing myself as hard as I've ever pushed myself. And the first recap video on here that I did, I talked about this fact of potential and that we want to reach our potential, but the reality is that potential does not exist because potential is infinite. And that the second that we reach what we think is our self-imposed, limitation of potential, it gets pushed out a little bit further because we have more and we have more and we have more and we have more and we have more. And so the whole idea of this challenge, the whole idea of life is going so hard every single day to push yourself as far as you can possibly go so that you're constantly chasing that potential because it's infinite. The second video on day 17, though, was a huge mind shift for me. And I talked about in the recap the two people that I wanted to introduce everybody to, and that is the winner and the quitter in you. But the only way that you're able to meet those two people is by getting to the absolute end of yourself, to go further than you've ever gone before, to go harder than you've ever gone before. And then you're introduced to either the winner or the quitter in you. You have the choice in that moment. I can go a little further, I can go a little harder, or I can stop. And so being introduced to those people is so important, but what's even more important is choosing the winner in you and choosing to push through that pain, choosing to fight through that discomfort and that struggle during that time. And that is what ultimately pushes that potential out just a little bit further. All right, so episode 53 documented day 18 through 23 of 75. And, this was another chaotic week. We traveled to Northwest Arkansas and getting those workouts in, but had a really defining moment in this episode, which was one of the mornings that I was in Arkansas. Supposed to wake up early, get some cardio in. That way I'd have my second workout in to get in the evening. And I woke up and I was just tired and I just didn't do it. And so as I, that evening, had to get 2 workouts in about a 4 or so hour period of time, I was doing the cardio late at night thinking, God, man, I wish I would have done this morning. I wouldn't have to do this right now. I wouldn't be so tired. And the whole episode centered around this theme of you're going to pay one way or the other. You're either going to pay now for the things that you want, or you're going to pay later for the things that you don't want. So what do I mean by that? You're going to pay now. You're going to go through discomfort now. You're going to go through struggle now. You're going to go through pain and agony now to get the thing you want, whether it's the body you want, the business you want, the life you want. Or you're going to pay later for not having done it already. So you're going to pay later by being out of shape. You're going to pay later by being in debt. You're going to pay later by being behind on your goal in your business. And you're going to pay later by the troubles that you're having in your relationships because you weren't investing with them on the front end. And so you're going to pay one way or the other. I highly suggest you pay now and not later. The vast majority of you guys are selfish. And the vast majority of you guys, you're just not doing it. And so what do I mean by that? And when I say you, I probably mean you. If I don't mean you, I mean the person next to you, but it's probably you. So episode 54 documents day 27 through 31. And it's so funny because you can really see my mindset starting to just switch. Like I got to this point where I had started having so much disrespect for distractions and disrespect for laziness when I would see it creep into my own life that it started kind of like forcing externally on other people. And this episode starts with me giving a keynote at this networking event. And I started out the whole thing by telling every single person there that they were lazy. And I was like, and if you don't think I'm talking about you, I'm definitely talking about you. You're lazy. And so that was kind of a funny way. But I started seeing laziness everywhere. And when you're going hard every single day, you become hyper aware of how easy everybody else is just coasting through life. And this episode was really cool because we traveled to Seattle and getting the workouts in there. There was a Saturday morning workout at 4:30 a.m., a leg workout that was just absolutely brutal and just really getting into the swing of things. But one of the things that I thought was specifically important about this episode is one of the days I had to get my second workout in. I'd already got my outdoor cardio in, but I was tired. And I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to go anywhere. So I did 10 push-ups every minute on the minute for 45 minutes, just right there in my hotel room, like right on the floor next to my bed. And it was an intense workout. Like I was soaked in sweat at the end of it. But it just goes to show that 45-minute workout, you can get it done
where you are. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to go have a personal trainer. You don't have to go to a CrossFit location. Like you can get it done where you are. Like, quit trying to complicate everything and just do something hard for 45 minutes and push your body and push your mind and get it done. And this was the first time I did that type of workout that I ended up doing a lot of times after that, whether it was, core work like crunches and different types of ab routines, or push-ups, or, squats or something like that, but for just every minute on the minute for 45 minutes. And man, it gets the job done. So that was a cool moment in there, kind of just getting to this place of absolute disrespect for laziness and distractions, and figuring out that you can get it done right where you are. So episode 55, we got day 36 and 37 on here, and it's right at the halfway mark of 75 hard. And you can just tell watching this video that I'm really in the groove of things. Like, I've got a good cadence going. Like, these things are becoming habits. They're becoming, automatic. Like, all right, got to get this done, got to get that done, got to get this done, got to get that done. There's no question about it. Getting it all in. Started with a 4:30 a.m. leg workout on a Monday morning, then traveling to Philadelphia, and then getting the night workout in that night. And again, just being in another city, more hotel, airport, like all the, odds stacked against someone trying to keep a perfect diet and workout routine, but still getting it in flawlessly. And that's what I love about documenting this challenge this way, is that all these different cities we've been in, all these different states, even other countries, being able to still get the things that we're supposed to get done completed. And that's what it's all about, is eliminating the excuses and just honoring your word. You said you were going to do it, so you do it. And this is just another perfect example of that. So in episode 56, we got days 39 through about 41, and there's such a huge contrast in just a few days. The first part of the video, I'm talking about how these habits, they become unconscious, and just getting them done, and just felt incredible, like the king of the world. But then the last day shown on this video, like, I was broken. Like, my body was just hurting so bad. I was so tired. In this episode, we went to Salt Lake City, training an agent and getting all this stuff done. Like, I was just at the very end of myself. Like, I was almost to like the delirious point because I was just so tired, wasn't getting enough sleep. And I mean, as we're doing this recap video in the car, I literally got lost completely, like didn't even know where I was. But we were in this beautiful city of Salt Lakes. There's mountains everywhere, which was great. But the whole theme of this episode was the fact that, yes, there are going to be days when you feel awesome and you feel like the king of the world and you feel unstoppable and like, I've got this. There's nothing that can hold me back. But then there's other days that, quite frankly, you're just not going to feel like doing the things that you're supposed to do. Like, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be sore. You're going to be tired. Like, it is in those moments, those delicate moments, when a lot of people, quite frankly, would quit. But choosing to continue to do those things you said you were going to do, even when it's the most difficult, is like the training ground. And is the whole purpose of this challenge is to put yourself in those moments where you could choose to quit or you could choose to keep pushing, and you keep pushing. And I felt like in that moment, like I was growing so much mentally, and my mental strength and my discipline and my determination to honor my word to get this challenge done. And I mean, I can feel the feeling that I had in that moment. Like, we walked out onto this park, and like I hadn't been sleeping, and just was so physically exhausted. I just wanted to lay down in the grass and go to sleep. But we got the workouts in. We got everything else done. And that's what it's all about. It's about doing the things you're supposed to do, even when you don't feel like doing them. In episode 57, we got days 45 through 50, and got some killer workouts in. One with Ryan Roxburgh out in Salt Lake, another one with my buddy Sean Whalen, which was a fun one to do with him. But then came back to Greenville, South Carolina on a red-eye flight. Didn't get back till like 8 o'clock in the morning. Straight into a boot camp training that we do with our new agents. And it was a cool experience to be able to pour into them the things that I was learning through this challenge, and to be able to share some of those really mindset changes that have been happening in my life, and to be able to kind of just pour into them as they're embarking on a new career. And again, it's just another one of those episodes where there's so many different things going on. You're in a boot camp training, you're at, dinners with clients, you're at a workout in this state, and you're back in this state, and just all of this stuff happening, but still getting these daily tasks completed, which is what it's all about. All right, episode 58 shows days 55 through 59. Awesome footage of going trick-or-treating on Halloween with my daughter, which was just awesome. And that's a big part of this challenge. And I just did a post on it here recently, talking about this idea of like 75 hard and hard. And it's all about, going hard and, going all in. But it's about going hard in all the areas of your life. And so going all in with your family, going all in, with your mind, your body, your spirit, your, relationship with God, like all of these things I was going all in on during this challenge. And some of the most important time was the time with my family, the time with my daughter, that I felt like was so much more intentional, because I had so much going on that I had to be so focused and just fully available and present in the moments that I had with my family. And, some of that's, going trick-or-treating, but some of it's just laying on the couch with my daughter and being fully present and available with her, which is absolutely awesome. In this episode, we traveled down to Orlando for another week of training another new agent and getting all these workouts in. And I really feel like at this point in the challenge, in this episode, I had 20 days and less left of the 75 days, and I had seen such a dramatic transformation already that I wanted to go even harder to make sure that I make the absolute most out of those last 20 days. Like, yes, I've made great progress, but you don't stop just because you've made great progress. You see how far you can take it. And I wanted to make it as dramatic and as transformational as humanly possible, and really stepped up my game this week, and going even harder in the workouts and making sure everything was just absolutely spot on so that I could finish the challenge strong. All right, so I want to go over the final real data, results from 75 Hard. And I did this in-body scan at Doctors for Life here in Greenville. And I did it a day before we started the 75 Hard Challenge, and then I just got it done a couple of days ago. And so the final results, which as Pabs and I were driving to get this done, I told him, I was like, man, I really want my body fat to be at like 12%. I was like, I think it's somewhere between 11 and 13, but if I can hit 12, I'd be happy with it. But it started out with my body fat at 20.9%. and ended at 11.5, so past the 12% mark. There's been people that have told me, like, I don't really know if that's accurate or not. I'm not really concerned with it. I did the the scan at the same place on the same machine. So I'm just worried about or concerned with the difference in the two, not necessarily like if that is exactly what I am right now or not. But I went from 20.9 to 11.5. So if you think about that, it's almost like cutting my body fat by 50%, which is huge. Ended up going from 248.7 pounds down to 223.5. So basically lost 25 pounds. And the guy that was going through the scans with us, he said that normally when people lose 25 pounds, they usually lose somewhere between 6 and 10 pounds of muscle. And the crazy thing is, I actually gained a pound of muscle. I went from 114.2 pounds of skeletal muscle mass to 115.1. So while losing 25 pounds, I actually was able to gain a pound of muscle, which is crazy. And this thing breaks it down by, each arm, leg, torso, and all that. But one of the biggest things that I thought was super impactful was my visceral fat level, which when I started, my visceral fat level was in a level 11, and anything over 10 is what they see as high risk. And it went from level 11 to level 5, which is in the very low range on their scale. And then also with the body fat, lean body mass control, basically said in the beginning that I needed to lose 17.4 pounds. And obviously did that. So it said I'm exactly where I need to be now. One thing that's crazy is that measuring each arm and leg, like 2.9 pounds of fat in each of my arms down to 0.4 pounds fat in each of my arms. Like my trunk, my stomach area had 31.3 pounds of fat, and it went to 15.7 pounds. My legs went from 6 pounds of fat down to 3 pounds of fat. And so obviously massive results, but it's nice to see the actual data, not just looking in the mirror, yeah, I look different, but actually being able to use the same scanning technology before and after and seeing the results here on paper and being able to go over that is huge. And, it's something that I'm really proud of, and I'm really excited to see where I got. But most importantly is now seeing how I can maintain where I'm at, if not even try to get better as the months progress down the road. So to cap off this 75 hard challenge, we decided to do a photo shoot. And, people can say what they want. Certainly got a lot of feedback from people on, well, why would you do a photo shoot? What are you doing that for? And it really made me realize that as transparent as I try to be on social media and that I strive to be on social media, there's still just so much about me that you guys just don't know yet. And one of those things is that I've struggled with body image issues my entire life. And I was that kid in middle school that wore his shirt to the pool because I was this chubby kid and I was just terrified of these cute girls looking at me and oh man, doesn't look so great with his clothes off, super self-conscious. And I've always been that way. I've been obese numerous times in my life. I've also been in the best shape of my life numerous different times. But my mind always goes back to that middle school kid that, was just terrified of people, looking at his body. And so the reason why, why did I do this photo shoot is because I'm proud as hell of where I got to. I'm extremely proud of what I was able to do in these 75 days. I've never pushed myself this hard. I've never worked out this hard. I've never stayed true to a diet this well for that period of time. And so I'm just proud of it. And so is my body and mind perfect? Absolutely not. What are the photos from this photo shoot being sent off to be on the cover of some magazine? Absolutely not. These photos are for me. And it's for me to remember what it was like to push my body to the limits. It's for me to remember what it was like to make this type of transformation. And it's for me to remember, most importantly, of who I am today, not who I was years and even decades ago, and that who I am today can only get better and better and better, because who I am today is an image bearer of God. I was made in God's image. I was made to be the absolute best I can be. I was made to go as hard as I can possibly go. And the best is yet to come. And so that's why we did this photo shoot, is so that I could remember what it was like to feel like I feel in this moment, that will drive me in years to come to get back to that mental state, and to continue to grow, and to continue to progress, and to continue to push myself to the limits to see what's possible. So that's why I did this photo shoot, and I'm extremely excited with the results from this photo shoot. I mean, we literally did like a contest prep leading up to it, just to draw out the last remaining water. It's the leanest I've ever been in my entire life. And I wanted to be able to have that documented, and to be able to have those photos to show myself what was possible, but then also to push me forward next time to get it even better and even better and even better and even better.